He arrived in Los Angeles from South Korea with $11,000, no college degree, and barely any English. His first job was washing dishes in a coffee shop kitchen for $3 an hour. He then pumped gas at night and cleaned floors until past midnight, working 19 hours a day just to survive. 3 years later, he opened a 900-square-foot clothing store. Within 1 year, that store did $700,000 in sales. 10 years later, Do Won Chang was a billionaire. This is how he and his wife Jin Suk built Forever 21 into one of the biggest fast fashion empires in the world. Do Won Chang didn't come from fashion connections, design training, or business education. He was a Korean immigrant who worked 3 jobs simultaneously just to pay rent in Los Angeles. But Chang noticed something while pumping gas that changed everything: the customers. With the nicest cars, all worked in the garment industry. That single observation led him to abandon his original coffee business plan and pivot into clothing retail. He and his wife Jin Suk opened a tiny store, turned over stock faster than anyone in the industry, and built Forever 21 into a global empire generating $4.4 billion at its peak. Their journey from washing dishes to becoming billionaires is one of the greatest immigrant success stories in American retail history. Do Won Chang was born on March 20, 1954, in Myeongdong, Seoul, South Korea. His family was of modest means, working-class people struggling with poverty. Growing up in Seoul during the 1960s and 1970s, Do Won experienced the challenges of economic hardship firsthand. His parents worked tirelessly in low-paying jobs just to keep the family surviving. Do Won's father labored in difficult physical work, earning barely enough to feed the household. Poverty wasn't occasional for the Chang family. It was the constant reality of daily life throughout Do Won's childhood. Do Won finished high school but never attended university. In South Korea during this era, without a university degree, career options were extremely limited. University admission required passing rigorous examinations, and the cost of higher education was beyond what most working-class families could afford. But Do Won had natural business instincts. He understood buying, selling, and making money from an early age. Even as a teenager, he grasped concepts of profit and customer value that many educated business people never master. Jin Suk Chang, Do Won's wife, learned hairdressing and manicuring skills in Korea, practical trades that could generate income anywhere in the world. Jin Suk had a remarkable eye for fashion trends, able to spot what styles were popular and which ones would sell before competitors even noticed them. This instinct for trendspotting would become the backbone of Forever 21's entire business model. Jin Suk could walk through a clothing market and immediately identify which pieces would fly off shelves and which would sit unsold. It was an innate talent that no fashion school could teach. In 1981, Do Won was 27 and Jin Suk was 25. South Korea was going through severe political turmoil under military dictatorship. The couple made a life-changing decision: emigrate to the United States and pursue the American dream. They had saved $11,000 total, everything they owned in the world. They had no college degrees, limited English, and no connections in America except Do Won's sister living in Los Angeles. The Changs flew first to Hawaii, where they spent less than a day securing green cards for themselves and Do Won's parents. They then flew to Los Angeles International Airport on a Saturday. The city was enormous and intimidating, a sprawling metropolis of millions where they knew virtually nobody. They had minimal savings, couldn't speak English well, and faced a world completely foreign to everything they had known. But they had fierce determination and willingness to work harder than anyone around them. Do Won wasted no time finding work. By Monday morning, just 2 days after arriving in Los Angeles, he was washing dishes and preparing meals in a local coffee shop kitchen. The minimum wage was approximately $3 per hour. That barely covered basic living expenses for 2 people in Los Angeles, where rent alone consumed most of what he earned. Chang needed more money desperately. He added a second job pumping gas at a gas station in the evenings. Still not enough to cover rent, food, and basic survival. He added a third job cleaning floors, working until past midnight. Do Won was working approximately 19 hours per day. Wake up early, coffee shop kitchen all morning and afternoon, gas station through the evening, cleaning job until past midnight, sleep briefly, then repeat the entire cycle again the next day. Jin Suk worked simultaneously using her hairdressing and manicuring skills, finding work doing nails and hair for clients in the Korean-American community. Her income was modest but helped the couple survive while saving every possible dollar. They lived in a cramped apartment, eating the cheapest food available, spending almost nothing except on bare survival. Every spare dollar was saved with discipline and purpose. But Do Won was learning constantly, observing American business, watching how retail worked, studying the garment industry that surrounded him in Los Angeles. He was absorbing lessons about American consumer behavior that would later prove invaluable. Chang's original business plan when he arrived in America was coffee. Back in South Korea, he had started a small coffee and juice delivery service. He intended to replicate that proven business in Los Angeles. He spent his first months saving money and planning a coffee delivery company. But something changed everything. While pumping gas during his evening shifts, Do Won made a critical observation that would alter the entire trajectory of his life. He watched customers who pulled up in the nicest cars, the newest vehicles, the most expensive automobiles in Los Angeles. He noticed a clear pattern. The customers driving the best cars almost all worked in the garment industry. Clothing retail was making people wealthy in Los Angeles, not technology. Not real estate, clothing. Do Won abandoned the coffee business plan entirely. He and Jin Suk shifted their complete focus to clothing retail. By 1984, 3 years after arriving in America, the Chans had saved $11,000 specifically for their clothing store. They found a tiny 900-square-foot retail space in Highland Park, a neighborhood in Los Angeles with a large Korean-American community. The rent was affordable and foot traffic from the local community was strong. They opened their first store and called it Fashion 21. The name referenced age 21. Their target customer was young women wanting trendy, affordable clothing. The store was incredibly small, barely bigger than a large bedroom. Shelves and racks packed tightly with clothing, maximizing every inch of available space. Jin Suk Chang personally selected every single piece of clothing in the store. Her natural instinct for fashion trends meant she chose styles that young women actually wanted to wear, not what fashion industry executives thought they should wear. The pricing strategy was revolutionary. Chang bought clothing in bulk directly from Korean-American manufacturers in Los Angeles at heavily discounted wholesale prices. He passed those savings directly to customers. Items cost $5, $8, $12, fractions of what department stores charge for similar styles. Young women loved it immediately and told their friends. Fashion 21's first-year results shocked Do Won himself. The tiny 900-square-foot store generated $700,000 in sales during its first year. That was extraordinary, $700,000 from a store smaller than most apartments. Opened by immigrants who'd been in America only 3 years, with no fashion training and no marketing budget. The success came from 3 factors working together perfectly. Jin Suk's eye for trends meant the store always had exactly what young women wanted. Do Won's aggressive buying kept prices far below every competitor. And the store turned over inventory incredibly fast. What was trending went on shelves immediately. What wasn't selling was removed quickly. Industry analysts would later estimate Forever 21 turned over 20% of its entire stock every single week, a rate unmatched anywhere in American retail. Riding this success, the Changs began expanding immediately. They opened a new store every 6 months. Each location followed the same proven formula: trendy, affordable clothing selected by Jin Suk, aggressive low pricing from bulk buying, and rapid inventory turnover that kept customers returning constantly. In 1987, 3 years after opening their first store, the Changs rebranded from Fashion 21 to Forever 21. The new name was genius. Forever 21 suggested perpetual youth, always being 21, always young, always trendy. The name had universal appeal that transcended the Korean-American community entirely. It was aspirational and exciting for any young person of any background. The rebrand allowed expansion into mainstream American retail. Forever 21 could appeal to any young woman regardless of ethnicity or background. The brand identity was remarkably simple: trendy fashion at prices everyone could afford. In 1989, Forever 21 opened its first mall-based store in Panorama City, California. This was significant. Shopping malls were where mainstream American retail happened. The average store size was now approximately 5,000 square feet, dramatically larger than the original 900-square-foot shop. Mall locations brought Forever 21 to millions of American teenagers and young women who would never have visited Highland Park. The mall strategy worked brilliantly. Teenagers discovered Forever 21 and loved it immediately. Trendy clothing for $5, $15, when other mall stores charged $30, $50. Word spread rapidly through schools and friend groups across Los Angeles. Forever 21 became the destination for affordable trendy fashion among young Americans. By 1995, Forever 21 expanded beyond California for the first time, opening in Miami's Mall of the Americas. National expansion had begun. The Changs replicated their formula across the country: high-traffic mall locations, trendy affordable clothing, fast inventory turnover, impossibly low prices. Throughout the 1990s and 2000s, Forever 21 expanded aggressively across the United States. The Changs kept Forever 21 as a privately held family business, never taking outside investors, never going public. Do Won and Jin Suk owned the company almost entirely themselves. All profits stayed within the family with no external shareholders demanding returns. Their two daughters, Linda and Esther Chang, both attended Ivy League universities and joined the family business. Linda headed marketing and visual display. Esther contributed to operations and expansion strategy. The Chang family ran Forever 21 together as a tight, unified unit built on shared work ethic and family loyalty. The business model was built on speed as the primary competitive weapon. Fashion trends move fast, but Forever 21 moved faster than anyone in the industry. Jin Suk identified trending styles before competitors noticed them. The supply chain manufactured copies quickly, and stores received fresh inventory within days. Competitors took weeks or months to respond to trends. Forever 21 responded in days. Forever 21 faced more than 50 lawsuits from designer brands alleging the company copied their designs. The Changs navigated these costly legal battles while continuing expansion. The lawsuits never significantly slowed the company's growth. The 2000s and early 2010s represented Forever 21's explosive global growth. By 2013, the company operated more than 480 stores and generated $3.7 billion in revenue. In 2015, Forever 21 reached its absolute peak. The company operated 794 stores worldwide across 48 countries. Annual revenue hit $4.4 billion. The company employed over 43,000 people globally. Do Won and Jin Suk Chang's combined net worth reached $5.9 billion according to Forbes, making them among the wealthiest immigrants in American history. The scale was staggering to comprehend. From a 900-square-foot store opened with $11,000 by two immigrants who could barely speak English to 794 stores, 43,000 employees, $4.4 billion revenue, and $5.9 billion personal wealth. The journey took approximately 30 years from first dishwashing shift to global billionaire status. Forever 21 operated without traditional advertising or marketing campaigns. The Changs built the brand entirely through word of mouth and the power of their value proposition. The company headquarters in Los Angeles didn't even have a sign outside for many years. The Changs were intensely private, rarely granting interviews. A Bible verse was printed on the bottom of every Forever 21 shopping bag. Do Won's deep Christian faith guided his business decisions and personal conduct throughout his entire life. But Forever 21's explosive growth carried hidden dangers. The aggressive expansion strategy began creating serious problems by 2017 and 2018. International locations were losing money badly, an average of $10 million per month in significant regions like Canada, Europe, and Asia. The company had expanded too fast into markets it didn't fully understand, signing expensive leases in locations that never generated adequate returns. The retail landscape was changing dramatically. Online shopping was growing rapidly. Amazon, Zara, and eventually Shein were capturing market share with lower overhead costs and greater convenience. Forever 21 had built its empire on physical mall retail, but young consumers were increasingly shopping online rather than visiting stores. Forever 21 attempted to adapt with e-commerce and new store formats. They launched F21 Red stores targeting a different demographic. But these performed 50% below projections. The company's goal to become an $8 billion company faltered completely. In 2018, Forever 21 began closing international stores, exiting the Netherlands, Thailand, Ireland, and Taiwan. Global sales declined 32%. On September 29, 2019, Forever 21 filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The company that had generated $4.4 billion in revenue just 4 years earlier was now insolvent. Plans were announced to close up to 350 stores worldwide and cease operations in 40 countries. Do Won and Jin-Suk Chang's combined net worth collapsed from $5.9 billion to approximately $1.6 billion, losing over $4 billion in wealth in just 4 devastating years. In early 2020, Forever 21's assets were sold to a consortium including Simon Property Group, Brookfield Property Partners, and Authentic Brands Group for just $81 million, a fraction of what the brand had been worth at its peak. The Changs lost control of the company they had built from nothing over 35 years of relentless work. Despite the bankruptcy, the Chang story remains one of the most remarkable immigrant success narratives in American business history. Their combined net worth remains approximately $1.6 billion, still billionaires despite everything. Do Won Chang oversees the Chang 21 Foundation alongside his wife, channeling funds to religious institutions and faith-based groups. He frequently travels on missionary journeys to assist underserved communities. Forever 21 continues operating under new ownership, with 600 stores globally. The brand the Changs created still generates billions in consumer spending. Do Won Chang's success came from 3 principles that revolutionized fast fashion retail. First, speed of trend identification and response. Jin-Suk's natural instinct for fashion trends, combined with Do Won's aggressive supply chain, meant Forever 21 consistently got trending styles into stores faster than any competitor in the industry. Second, aggressive pricing through bulk buying and low margins. Items cost $5.15 when competitors charged $30.50. This value proposition was irresistible to young consumers on limited budgets. Third, rapid inventory turnover. Forever 21 turned over 20% of stock every week. What sold stayed prominent. What didn't sell disappeared immediately. This kept stores perpetually fresh and exciting. Customers visited frequently because the shopping experience changed constantly. But the Chang story also demonstrates that even brilliant business models have real limitations. Forever 21's physical retail empire couldn't adapt quickly enough to the massive shift toward online shopping. The aggressive expansion that built billions created enormous fixed overhead costs that became completely unsustainable when sales declined. Do Won Chang arrived in Los Angeles with $11,000, no college degree, and barely any English. He washed dishes for $3 an hour, pumped gas at night, and cleaned floors until past midnight. While pumping gas, he noticed customers with the nicest cars worked in garment retail. He pivoted from coffee to clothing. 3 years later, he opened a 900-square-foot store. First-year sales hit $700,000. They rebranded to Forever 21, expanded nationally, then globally. At its peak, Forever 21 operated 794 stores in 48 countries, generated $4.4 billion in revenue, employed 43,000 people, and made the Changs worth $5.9 billion. Then the retail apocalypse hit. Forever 21 filed for bankruptcy in 2019. The company sold for $81 million. The Changs lost over $4 billion. But Do Won Chang proved something powerful. He proved that immigrants with no education, no connections, and no English can build billion-dollar empires through careful observation, relentless hard work, and absolute refusal to accept the limitations others placed on them. The dishwasher who noticed wealthy customers at the gas station built one of America's greatest retail empires, and even after losing it, remained a billionaire. That's not luck. That's the American dream executed by someone who had absolutely nothing except the willingness to work harder than everyone around him.